Many people believe that squirrels are simply lucky when they find their buried nuts, as if it's a coincidence that they know exactly where their food is. The reality, however, is quite different. These small rodents are much more than impulsive animals digging random holes. They are true masters of topography. Their ability to find their nuts has nothing to do with luck. It's a combination of spatial memory, precise calculations, and an incredible sense of direction. Squirrels create a kind of mental map, a complex geographic grid, where each hole they dig in the ground is a cell stored in their minds. They use a combination of spatial triangulation and visual landmarks, such as trees and rocks, to ensure they never lose track of their precious food stores. What seems simple to us is actually an impressive example of animal cognitive ability. You've probably seen a squirrel running around and thought to yourself, it must be really lucky to find its buried nut after all this time. But that's the big myth that needs to be debunked. The process of finding their caches is as precise as a GPS. The forest floor, with all its fallen leaves, roots, and holes, may look chaotic. However, in the squirrel's brain, this scene is translated into a vast network of organized data, stored in the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for spatial memory. Every patch of land, every tree and rock is a reference point the squirrel uses to calculate the exact location of its food. And what happens if it makes a mistake? Well, in the winter season, when the weather is harsh and food is scarce, a mistake of just 10% can mean hunger, and even worse, its end. So, the squirrel can't afford to make errors. Its survival depends on it. How exactly does the squirrel manage to calculate the location of its nuts, even in an imprecise terrain? The secret lies in triangulation. They use large reference points like trees, rocks, and even fallen logs to create a system of anchors that help define the exact location of each hole. But that's not all. Squirrels also use a much more sophisticated trick known as parallax. This means they move their heads from side to side as they observe the environment, which allows them to calculate the distance between them and their caches more precisely. This head movement, almost like a form of zoom, helps adjust the location in real time. And in more challenging environments, like snow, the squirrel has an internal compass, a sense of direction very similar to what we use to navigate a map. It's as if the squirrel has a biological GPS. Now, imagine a squirrel has thousands of nuts scattered across the forest floor. How does it manage to remember all these locations? The answer lies in mnemonic grouping. Instead of memorizing each nut individually, the squirrel organizes its reserves strategically. It classifies nuts by species, size, and quality, creating a memory structure that functions much like a digital filing system. This way, it doesn't need to recall every single detail of every hole, just associating the nut with its corresponding category and group. This grouping also helps avoid interference. One cache site doesn't mix with another, and the squirrel can navigate this mental system with impressive precision. Unlike us, who may forget an item or a place after some time, squirrels are incredibly organized, almost like a biological computer with an impressive long-term memory. But squirrels are also crafty when it comes to protecting their nuts. They know they're not the only ones interested in their precious reserves. The competition is fierce, and other animals, like rival squirrels or even crows, may steal their nuts if they don't take precautions. To protect themselves, many squirrels make fake burrows. They trick stash thieves by burying nuts in false locations, as a kind of distraction, while the real reserves stay hidden elsewhere. What's most interesting is that, for this trick to work, the squirrel must remember not only where the real nuts are, but also where it buried the fake ones. This means the squirrel's mental map is constantly being updated in real time. Every theft or failure in defense needs to be adjusted in the squirrel's memory system, creating a more complex anti-theft network. It not only needs to be quick, but it must also be a master of spatial logic. A squirrel's ability to find its nuts is undoubtedly impressive. And when we compare their navigation skills to ours, we realize there's an even greater degree of sophistication. The way squirrels organize their spatial memories and calculate distances is, in many ways, comparable to human topographic surveys and even modern GPS systems. However, the difference lies in the complexity of the process. While we use maps and technology to help us navigate, squirrels do all of this intuitively, through a highly evolved biological system. This animal intelligence, often overlooked in an urban world, is one of nature's wonders. Each successful nut retrieval is the result of months of mental work and precise calculations, a true masterpiece of biology. When we observe squirrels in action, it's easy to see them as cute and almost comical creatures, but their ability to find food amidst chaos reflects the incredible intelligence that inhabits the animal kingdom. They are masters of spatial memory and strategy, moving through the world with a precision that many of us can't even imagine is possible. And the most fascinating part, all this ability comes from a small rodent that bears no resemblance to humans, shaped to survive in a wild and unpredictable environment. They are true architects of nature, navigating an invisible map in their minds. Now, I invite you to reflect on how much these small beings, often invisible in our daily routine, can teach us about resilience, intelligence, and adaptation. If you are fascinated by this hidden world of squirrels, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and continue following our scientific journey. What more can we learn from animals? Let's discover together.